Rick and the camper van. Rick and the camper van. Romeo and Juliet, Julius Caesar and Cleopatra. Noah and the Ark, Jonah and the whale. But what we have for you is Rick and the camper van. Rick and the camper van.
Good morning, everybody. I'll tell you what, that was a great night's sleep. That's probably the best night's sleep I've had in a long, long time. So obviously this camper life suits me. I've woken up pretty sore in my back and my glutes, so it was a fairly hefty day yesterday. Today I'm going to do, it is a fair mileage, I admit, a fair walk to Barmouth. What I will do is I'll get there and see how I feel. If I don't feel too good, I'll just get a cab back. I believe they've got cabs in Barmouth, or they have, I checked. Otherwise, I'll get the bus back to whatever the place is called, opposite the toll bridge, and walk over to the George, have a beer, and then trot home. The weather forecast is not looking good. We've not had much rain in the night, or if we did, I didn't hear it. It had a shower about 20 minutes ago. I've had my breakfast, and I'm sort of pretty much set to get going. So hopefully another exciting day. Anyway, stick with me, kids. See you in a bit.
Many years ago, I fell madly in love with a New Zealand girl. And we used to come to this area quite often. So it always held memories for me. And I found it for a long time very difficult to come here because there was so much associated with her. I always remember this one incident with a cow. This is on the other side of the estuary. We were walking and this cow had got a calf and was blocking the path. So we sort of dropped down and walked round it against the wall. In itself, that's nothing. But I was lost in my own thoughts some years later, approaching that particular part of the path, but from a different direction. When I got there, I lifted myself up onto the bank that we'd been walking along, and it was like somebody flicked a switch. Technicolor, the whole thing went through this whole replaying of this particular incident. It floored me. I was so upset. I was beside myself. I was so upset. And I wandered on and it spoilt the rest of the holiday. I just couldn't get it out of my head. And this had happened a couple of times, at least when I was expecting it. There was another time. She had a very distinctive perfume. And I was working with ballerina Sylvie Guillaume, and we were on tour in Europe. We were in Normandy, I think it was at the time, in this not particularly attractive French town. Reminded me a bit of Coventry, just a big concrete, awful place. And I was, again, minding my own business, sat in the green room when I caught the scent of her perfume. It was like an adrenaline rush, like, what? And I turned round, expecting to see her, and it turned out to be a gay guy who got the same perfume. That had the same effect. It really ruined me. And that took weeks to get over. And there's been incidents like that. Not so much now, well, not at all now, but at the time, it really did emotionally drain me. Since then, I have contacted her and we've spoken. She's happy, and that's the best you can expect. I'm happy. I think if we'd persevered with it, I think it was about 3 years we were trying to make it work, we'd have ended up getting divorced. It just wouldn't work. I think in the end, we got certain things that we got in common, but a lot that we hadn't. The funny thing is, that's the same with my wife. We've got some things in common, but a lot that we don't. But she likes me for what I am. So, she doesn't complain when I go away. She just lets me get on with it. And I don't complain when she goes off with, what do I call him? Hinge and Bracket, the toothless one. They go off to the theatre and stuff like that, which is what she likes doing. Having worked in theatre, it's like a busman's holiday. I've got no great desire to do it. I prefer a good film any day, which is a terrible thing to say because, actors on stage is a wonderful, in the moment, it's a bit like music, isn't it? In the moment, you're there, it passes and it's gone. Anyway, like I said, if that hadn't happened, I'd never have met Sheila. Excuse me. When I talk to other guys about this, because, us blokes do occasionally talk emotional things, it seems all of us have got this one girl that we met at some time that got under your skin, that after all these years, you still think about. It's still there. And certainly coming back here today for the last 2 days, there's been a lot of remembering things, but it's not painful now. It's joyful memories. Yeah, I think it's joyful memories. And like I say, I know loads of other guys have had the same thing. It's probably the same for women and girls as well. I don't know, because I've never asked, you know. It's not the sort of thing you're asked. Oh, you know, I used to have this girl I was madly in love with, da-di-da-di-da. What about yourself? Because obviously when you start talking like that, the jealousy and mistrust can sort of get involved. But yeah, it's a bittersweet. So, tucked away at the bottom of my heart, there's this little place where she sits, along with a couple of others. But the biggest part of my heart is with my wife, who's the most wonderful person that sort of came into my life in a most strange way, but we'll talk more about that some other time when I'm nearer that location. Yeah, but it's there.